Ever feel like you're stuck on a hamster wheel running the exact same API test over and over and over again with slightly different data? It's a massive time drain. And let's be honest, it's just asking for mistakes. Well, in this explainer, we're going to show you how to break that cycle for good. We'll be using Postman's powerful data-driven features to put your API testing on autopilot. Let's get into it. So here's the game plan. We'll start with the basics, getting your API requests organized. Then we'll fire up the collection runner to get things automated. After that, we'll add the real magic, powering our tests with data. We'll even do a full hands-on example together. And finally, we'll talk about how you can share this and scale it up for your team. It's a full roadmap from manual grunt work to slick automation. All right, let's dive right in. Section 1, organizing your API requests. You gotta walk before you can run, right? This is the walking part, and it's absolutely crucial. This is how we go from messy, one-off tests to clean, repeatable workflows that are going to save you a ton of time and headaches down the road. So let me ask you, does this sound familiar? You've got that create user endpoint, and you need to test it with, 10, 20, maybe 100 different user profiles. Clicking through that one by one, it's not just boring, it's a total nightmare. And honestly, a recipe for human error. This is the exact pain point we are here to solve today. So what's the first piece of the puzzle? It's something called a Postman collection, and it's really, really simple. It's just a folder for your API requests. We love this analogy you see on the screen. Think of it as a recipe book for your API. Each request is a single recipe, and the collection is the book that keeps them all tidy and in one place. Okay, so why should you even bother with collections? Well, the payoff is huge. For one, everything's centralized in one spot. They're built for automation, which we're getting to next. They're also super easy to share with your team. But the real magic, the whole reason we're here, is that collections are what unlock powerful data-driven testing. All right, on to section 2. We've got our recipe book, our collection. Now we need someone to do the cooking, right? Well, meet the collection runner. This is basically your own personal automated testing assistant. This tool is where things get really cool. The collection runner takes that recipe book and actually, does the work. It'll run through every single request in your collection one after the other. It can just run them once or, and here's the key, it can run them hundreds of times, each with a different set of ingredients. It's the automated chef for your API. And you might think this sounds complicated, but it's really not. Seriously, look at these steps. You make a collection, add your requests, pop open the runner, tell it what data file to use, and boom, you click run, that's it. You've just turned what could be hours of manual clicking into a single click that takes seconds. Okay, now for the secret sauce. Section 3, powering tests with data. This right here is the high-octane fuel for our automation engine. Without this, the runner is just repeating the exact same request. But with data, oh man, that's when you can test a ton of different scenarios, catch weird edge cases, and find those tricky bugs you'd probably never catch by hand. So what does this data actually look like? Well, Postman keeps it super simple. You can use either CSV, which is just your basic spreadsheet format, or JSON. As you can see, the CSV on the left is just columns and rows. The JSON on the right is a list of objects. Both work perfectly, and Postman handles them seamlessly, so you can just use whichever you're more comfortable with. So how do you actually get Postman to use this data? It's so simple, you're going to love it. In your request, wherever you'd normally type a static value, like a person's name, you just replace it with these double curly braces and the name of your column header. That's it. Postman sees double curly braces, name, and for every single run, it automatically subs in the right value from your file. And this is a really, really important point. We're not just sending data into a black hole. We need to check that the API actually did the right thing with it. And you can do that right inside your test scripts. You see that data.name piece of code? That lets you grab the data you sent in and compare it to what you got back in the response. It's how you close the loop and make sure everything is working perfectly. Okay, enough talk. Theory is one thing, but seeing it in action is way better. So let's get our hands dirty in section 4. We're going to build our own little efficiency engine, right here, right now. All right, here's our simple setup. It's just 3 quick steps. First, we'll whip up a new collection. We'll call it Add Multiple Users. Next, we'll add one single post request to a public API endpoint so we don't have to worry about setting up our own server. And last, we'll create a tiny little CSV file with a few rows of fake user data. Now, this is the heart of it all right here. Look at that request body. It's just a simple JSON object, but see that? Instead of hard-coding a name and a job, we've got our variables. hashtag name and hashtag job. These line up perfectly with the column headers in that CSV file we just made. We are so close. Just a few final steps. We're going to add a quick test script to make sure the API is behaving. Then, it's the moment of truth. We open up the collection runner, point it to our new collection and our users.csv file, and we hit that big run button. Let's see the magic happen. And here's that test script we're using. It does two simple but vital checks. First, it makes sure the status code is 201 created, which is just the API's way of saying, yep, I successfully created that user for you. Second, it checks that the name in the API's response exactly matches the name from our data file for that specific run. This is crucial for verifying data integrity. And would you look at that? The results are in. The collection runner ran 3 times, one for each row in our CSV file. Every single request was successful, and both of our tests passed every single time. We just tested 3 different scenarios in less than a second without lifting a finger. That right there is the power of data-driven testing. Now, this is awesome for you working on your own. But where this becomes a true game changer is when you scale it up. So in our final section, we're going to talk about taking this awesome little engine you built and plugging it into your team's professional workflow. Sharing this work could not be easier. Seriously, you just find your collection, click that little 3-dot menu, hit export, and it spits out a single JSON file. You can check that file into source control, email it, Slack it to a teammate, whatever. It's that portable. Now, if you want to get really serious about automation, you need to know about a tool called Newman. Think of Newman as the collection runner, but without any of the buttons or windows. It's a command line tool, which is a fancy way of saying you can run it automatically in your CI/CD pipelines. You know, those automated systems like Jenkins or GitHub Actions that build and test your code for you. And check out how simple this command is. You literally just tell Newman to run your collection file, and you use that -d flag to point it to your data file. That's it. This one little line of code can be your automated quality gatekeeper, running your entire test suite every single time someone pushes new code and stopping bugs before they ever reach production. So, let's do a super quick recap. A collection groups your requests. The collection runner executes them automatically. A data file provides the variable inputs for each run, and Newman takes that whole package and plugs it right into your professional automation pipeline. And there you have it. We've gone all the way from a single manual request to a fully automated, data-driven test suite. You now have the complete blueprint to build this powerful automation engine for yourself. So the only question I have left for you is this. You've built the engine. What tedious workflow are you going to automate first?